them who we are.
Reactors! Of course, I've seen Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and I'm here to give you guys none other than a Reel It In review. Starting off this review, before I dive into this thing, I just want to say, Ryan Coogler, this cast, everyone behind the camera, they did an amazing job with this film. Not only that, the tribute they paid to Chadwick Boseman in this film was enough to move me to tears and the people around me in my theater. So thank you for delivering such a great film. And I mean that. I love this film through and through, guys. Through and through, this film met all of my expectations. I went into this film with high expectations, and they were met. So many positives that I have for this film, with maybe like minor negatives, criticisms that I have, but it does not stop me from saying that this film is phenomenal. I love it. To be honest, I think this is my favorite comic book movie of the year. I know, right? But this film hit me on so many levels. It pulled on so many emotional chords that I have within me. And that's enough to tell you that for this 2 hours and 45 minutes of a movie, I was engaged. I was very much intrigued. I experienced so many emotions. I laughed. I clapped, I cried, everything. You name it, I experienced it in this film. That is why I think this movie is phenomenal. Now, Wakanda Forever is simply about our characters dealing with the loss of T'Challa and tackling grief head on and seeing if they are able to move on from grief in order to prosper in life. Then on top of that, the outside world is seeing this as an advantage now that the king is gone. Then on top of that, Ryan Coogler decides to bring in Namor and his people of Talokan. So you have that rivalry between the Wakandans and the people of Talokan. And I want to take a quick second to talk about Talokan. The underwater scenes are beautiful in this movie. The people of Talokan are a sight to see underwater. And then most importantly, Namor. Great casting. Tenoch does a phenomenal job as Namor. Namor is a badass in this film. His action scenes, the way they built this man up to be not only menacing, terrifying, but able to make us, fans feel a little bit of sympathy for him, because his backstory is what I think is one of the best parts of this film. I love his backstory. But to make a guy with wings on his feet menacing, terrifying, show sympathy for, and for Tenoch to just provide so much character depth for this character is a big highlight for me. Tenoch did a great job. Namor is fantastic. If you're going into this film for Namor, then you are going to enjoy this film. Now, for this rest of this cast, Shuri, played by Letitia Wright, does a phenomenal job stepping into the leading role, filling the shoes of Chadwick Boseman. She held her own against the likes of other big actors and actresses in this film. Letitia Wright does a perfect job with Shuri. In this film, we see Shuri go through 3 stages: denial, grief, and then most importantly, acceptance. And her character arc in this film is really good. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, you are going to walk out this theater enjoying and loving Shuri a little bit more than what you have seen Shuri previously in. Ramonda, Queen Ramonda, played by Angela Bassett. You've heard it from a lot of people. You're going to hear it from me. She deserves an Oscar. She doesn't have one. I feel like this is her moment to get one in a supporting role. She kills it. She's phenomenal in here. The way she commands a scene, at points it feels like she's actually talking to you. It felt like she was talking to me. And she puts on an acting clinic. She was great in this. Okoye is great in here too. We dive a little bit more into her. She does a lot in this film, and I enjoyed that. Nakia, played by Lupita. She's not in this film as much as I would have liked, but when she is, she's great. Same with M'Baku, played by Winston Duke. He's not in this film as much, and I feel like with Nakia and M'Baku, the story could have used them more, but I understand why the story did not use them as much, because there is a lot to cover in this film. But Winston Duke as M'Baku is great, as you would have expected. Lastly, Riri Williams, a new addition to not only this cast, but to the MCU, played by Dominic Thorne. I can't wait to see Ironheart now. After watching this film, I want more Riri. She was great. I don't think her suit design is the best, so hopefully they improve on that in the Disney Plus show. But other than that, Riri is here to stay, and I'm all for it. A few more positives I wanted to say is that the score, the musical soundtrack, is a banger in this film, especially a scene that takes place in underwater, and they just let the music play throughout the scene. I was over here going, chef kiss. It was great. And then Ludwig Göransson, his score is top tier. Almost just as good as the first Black Panther film, to be honest with you. It is really good. I do wish we got some Kendrick Lamar bumping in my theater, but he was not on that soundtrack list, and I feel like that is a missed opportunity. But that is not a criticism I take against this film. The music is amazing. The cinematography in this film, the sound, the editing, I think was pretty good. Some editing stuff happens towards the end with the big fights, but that is just minor. But the sound is amazing. The cinematography, the life that this movie gives off and brings to you as a viewer is so enriched, and I love it all. The only negative thing I could possibly say is that there is a decision that is made in this film. It did not sit right with me, but it took me quite some time to get over it. It was like I had to experience grief all over again after grieving over T'Challa. They explained the death of T'Challa in this film, and I thought they did a great job. Not only that, paying tribute to T'Challa at the beginning of this film and at the end of this film, especially at the end of this film. It brought a lot of tears, not only to my eyes, but to a lot of people. And then the post-credit scene, I'll add that in, is great. Enjoyed that post-credit scene, and I can't wait for Marvel to do that. I mean, Marvel, you put it there for a reason, so you might as well build up to that, because I'm all for it. So yeah, I only have one thing to nitpick about this film, but it's not that big. It was just something that happens to a character, and I was just shocked. I was not prepared. Kind of made me mad, but over time I got over it, and I understand why they did it when it comes to the story. But this is my review of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I give it a 5 out of 5 stars, a 10 out of 10. This movie is phenomenal. I loved it, and I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts on this film. So yes, go reel this in. But you're probably asking, is it better than the first one? I can't say that right now. I'm going to have to watch this movie more times, because Black Panther, I can rewatch that plenty of times. But this is a top 2 MCU Phase 4 film. I have Spider-Man No Way Home still above that. and I have Wakanda Forever at second, but I wouldn't be surprised if you want to put this as the best thing of MCU Phase 4, because I will gladly agree with you. Now, for the MCU films, I see this as a top 10 film. Top 5, I'm going to have to watch it a few more times, but as of right now, it's sitting as a top 10 film for me. But make sure you guys go reel in that movie, and you guys share your opinions in the comments down below. Like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on those notifications. Plenty more reviews are coming to the channel. Plenty more reactions are coming to the channel too as well. So hopefully you join the reactor community. Thank you guys for watching this review. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.